Hello everyone! I always position the camera and then realise just a little bit too late that actually it needs to be lower. Welcome for another wee session of Chen style Tai Chi. Let's get started with right hand in fist please, left hand straight, and pull back that thumb. Let's bring the feet together and the hands together and we salute. Thank you so much for joining me. Let's open our stance please, and excuse me, we'll just do a little bit of warming by gently rolling into the four corners of the hips. Warm up is so important. I know I sound like a stuck record, but it really is. And you might think, oh, could we do a different exercise for warm up? And I often do give you different wee exercises, but to put this in context, I trained with a master very closely for 9 years. So we were doing maybe 3 or 4 classes a day. And in all of the classes, the warm-up was always the same. And after about 5 or 6 years, one day I asked, could we do something else for warm-up? And the answer was nope. So repetition is a big key in Tai Chi, and we condition our bodies by doing the same movements again and again because it allows us to be familiar and to really become very natural at the movements, that we're listening, we're feeling, and we're able to fine-tune what we're doing. Whereas if you're always doing something different, we become a jack of all trades and a master of none. So we really need to become familiar with the moves and do repetitive similar moves in order to really plumb the depths of our body awareness and calibrate on a daily basis into our system to do the best that we can, fine-tune the body. So you can imagine if you had a car and you were tuning the car on a regular basis, maybe a racing car, if you tried to tune it differently each day, you would get different results. Whereas if you had a tried and tested method, then you could really get to the heart of what's going on and tune the engine well. Let's change direction, please. So what I'm saying is, don't be anxious to always be chasing the new. Actually, the tools at your disposal are often the ones you need. And we can actually learn a great deal using these same tools. So learning is not restricted by repetition, it's actually facilitated by repetition. We can learn more by plumbing the depths of what we know rather than constantly just adding to the mix. Of course, learning new stuff is good too. But definitely in my youth, I got very bored with the same warm-up every time and didn't understand that. So I think a lot of the good stuff from Tai Chi, the wisdom, comes from age, you know, that we get that little bit older and that little bit wiser, that we start to realize what we've got rather than trying to chase things outside of our toolbox. It's very tempting though, isn't it? You see a new exercise regime and think, oh, that might help me. Don't limit yourself, but don't be seduced by the new. All right, very good. Okay, now I can feel I can do with a lot of this work. I've been sitting cross-legged a lot and my hips and lower back have got a bit stiff. So this is a very useful wee exercise for lubricating the joints, for loosening the whole structure of the lower body, helping the energy to swirl and move. It is an excellent little exercise. And as I often mention, Grandmaster Chen encourages us to work up to 500 of these square cycles in each direction every day. So 30 will be enough for a quick warm-up, but if you really are interested in fully exploring the benefits of this movement, 500 in each direction is good. Folks often think, oh my goodness, that's an awful lot, but it's gentler than walking, and doesn't take that long, about 20 minutes, 25 minutes maybe would do you 500 in each direction. But build it up, don't be blasting your system. Good, so let's come back into the center, and we're going to widen the stance and deepen the stance, sit back a little bit. So you notice I ask you to sit back. I'll show you what I mean. If I just bent my knees, this is incorrect. You see the way my knees are going way forwards, not good. Not good for the knees, not good for the structure. We want to actually sit back. Do you see the way my whole the whole body is going back a little bit? And that means that the knees are safe, they're not beyond the toes, and we feel a fullness in the back and an emptiness in the front. What does that remind you of? Yin and Yang. So you can see on my t-shirt we have a yin yang describing Tai Chi. So we sit back, full in the back, empty in the front, and then we twist. What are we twisting? Well, think of the thread running from the top of your head, suspending you up and running down through the center of your body. Imagine that you are just twisting that thread. So notice the knees, the hips, the legs are all still. We're just turning in the waist. But actually the feeling of the turn is coming a little bit further down. It's coming from the dantian, where all movement comes from in Tai Chi. So that's a pivot point about 4 finger widths beneath the belly button, but in the very center of the body. That is, think of it like a seesaw pivot, but actually you can pivot in any direction from that point. Good. This strengthens the legs. Good, up you come. Of course, with all our practice, we want to be mindful of how the system is responding on the day. So warm-up is not just moving your body to get warm, but it's also a method to help us to establish how we are. It's like a little service, like you take your car in for a service. We're checking everything is working and testing it, testing the water and seeing how our system is responding today. And we're never the same person 2 seconds running. It's always a new experience. 1 second you might feel very flexible and the next second you may feel stiff. You don't know. So we have to listen and feel. And I find that when I get tired, my body gets stiff. Whereas when I feel I have energy, I feel flexible. And that's a useful method to calibrate. As I say, if you're practicing, if you're using your body, if your body all of a sudden starts to stiffen, that's a sign that you're fatigued, that the muscles are tired, that the body is under strain. So if you're starting to stiffen, even though you've been exercising for a while, that says time to wind down and rest. Good. All right, let's come back to center, ease from the stance. Good, let's stand on one leg, keeping the hips level and we're going to rotate. Now, it's no secret, I find this exercise very difficult because we want to keep those hips level. The temptation is to lift the hip. That's easy for me, but do you see the way my hips are now on an angle? You can see my t-shirt line maybe is on an angle. That's no good. So we have to keep the hips level and that we're not bowing the body over to the opposite hip. We want to keep things nice and level. Think of your body like a set of shelves. We don't want the books sliding off. Good. And on the other side, or rather reverse, change direction. It looks like nothing, doesn't it? But I really feel I'm working to do this exercise. Good. And shake out on the other side. Keep those hips level and gently rotate. Why do we need to keep the hips level? Well, everything in Tai Chi is about balance. We're wanting to create a balance, not just so that we don't fall over, change direction please, but so that we are helping the system to function at its best. So sometimes that requires effort. Good, let's shake out please. Easing from your stance. Lovely. Now, at any stage, if you want a wee comfort break, excuse me, take it. Go at your own pace, please. So now we're going to stretch the legs. I have the window open here, and I do get a little bit of hay fever sometimes, so excuse me. Okay, so we're going to keep the feet parallel. And we're going to gently kick the leg out. Now, I'm not asking you to do a big can kick, but just kick your leg out and place it down. Now, why do we do that? You can see that by doing that, I have kept the line between my shoulders, hips, and feet. Whereas often we'd want to step out wider, we've actually broken the alignment. So the Chen masters actually use this method, kick and down, and that gives us quite a narrow stance, but it keeps our alignment. So again, it's more challenging, but it's better for us. Okay, so now we're going to do a little forwards and backwards roll the boat. We're just going to do it 3 times. 1, 2, and 3. And we're going to feed the weight back, slide the hands down to just above the knee. Lengthen your spine, so don't bend your back, lengthen your spine. And now if you can, hinge from your hips so that your whole straight back is folding forwards. Keep breathing. Relaxing into the stretch. Good, let's pull those toes back, take hold, same side, hand and foot. Encourage the toes back, encourage the leg quite straight. Good, relax the foot down, feed the weight forwards and come up. Well done, and ease from your stance. Notice how you feel. You'll find there's some exercises in Tai Chi that feel much more of an effort than others. I've always found this exercise quite intense, and it is, but it is a good and important exercise to do because we spend all our time in Tai Chi on bended knee, and so those muscles could become short. So it's important that we stretch our legs in order to aid energetic flow and make sure that nothing becomes stagnant. There's no area that isn't being fed with energy. So let's try it on the other side. We check posture. We're going to kick the leg and place it down. And let's do our 3 roll the boats. Try to keep the back foot parallel. Good. and feed the weight back, sliding down to just above the knee. Lengthen your spine right the way through to the top of the head and gently hinge from the hips. Breathing and relaxing. If you can, try to breathe through your nose. Good, and release the front toes, pull them back. If you can, take hold, same side, hand and foot, and keep breathing. Good, relax down, gently ease forwards, up you come, and you can walk your feet in. Well done. I like to take my time after that exercise. As I say, I find it quite intense, that folding forwards. Sometimes when you come up, having bent forwards, you can feel a little bit lightheaded. So we could do an exercise just to keep the ball rolling, but allow us to recover. So this is just stretching your fingers down. See if you can touch the side of your knee. Don't force it, please. Lengthen the spine as you come through center. This is one of Chen's warm-up exercises. I love his exercises, but they are a full-on workout, very extreme in some cases, but a lot of fun. Good, let's shake out. Okay, I'd like to do just some non-Chen style specific Qi Gong exercises just for a bit of energy. I came across these exercises online, and I'll share the link with you. Very, very basic Qi Gong, but of course basics have all the good stuff. So what we're going to do is lift the hands and shake. So we're sort of twisting, shaking. And straight away when I tried doing this, I realized that my right side is more coordinated and stronger and more responsive than my left. And as soon as I realized that, I realized this is an exercise I need to do. So we're looking to do 30 seconds of constant shaking if you can. Keep breathing, keep shaking. Don't worry if you do feel an imbalance, but if you do, that's a sign, as I say, that you need to work at it, so it's something that you can play with. Okay, that's probably 30 seconds. Relax down. Whew, give yourself a moment and breathe. And you may notice already lots of tingling, lots of energy flowing in. So that's very, very good if you feel that. Okay, movement 2, we're going to lift the hands, and this time we make fists, nice tight fists, and release. And we do that for 30 seconds-ish. Off we go. Fast as you like. Make sure you're making a full fist so that your middle fingers are touching the center of your palm, the Lao Gong point. Keep going, keep breathing. You will start to feel fatigue, but that's okay. Keep going, keep going, keep going. Good, keep breathing. This is actually very similar to a Shaolin exercise, but of course they're all, you know, Qi Gong is Qi Gong. They all have their different flavors. Good, and whew, relax. Well done. And again, notice, do you feel tingling? I do, yeah, maybe warmth or a feeling almost like there's water flowing through. These are all experiences of Qi, and I think it's a fascinating thing that our body can feel our life force. So it's fascinating. So we can feel ourselves, so to speak. Yeah, really cool. Okay, exercise 3, bring the hands together, and we're going to rub vigorously for around 30 seconds. So you often see this movement in Qi Gong and warm-ups. but not normally encouraging you to do a full 30 seconds, but it's perfect. It's a really useful, simple wee exercise. So much so that I struggled to remember what it was. I was like, what was that third one? It's because it's so simple, it's so obvious. I couldn't see the wood for the trees. Good, so you've rubbed for 30 seconds now. Open your hands a little bit, relax, find your bowl. Can you feel that tingling? Can you feel that warmth? Let's breathe and see if we can stretch it out and bring it in a wee bit. Good. And stretch it out and bring it in a wee bit. So we're going to use this Qi in a second to circulate as we do our Chen style Lao Jia Yi Lu form. But you could take this bowl as an exercise on its own. Let's do a wee stretching exercise. So we're turning in the waist and stretching the bowl like it's chewing gum. Good. We can stretch it. That's a nice wee liver exercise. We can add a little bit of a rotation, so it's a little bit more choo-choo train-like. Rolling that bowl, but see if you can keep the feeling of connection. Keep the bowl going. We could bring it back to center. We can stretch it out wider and compress it together. Find where the bowl feels strongest. Stretch it out. Compress it. Or we could just, after we've done the 3 exercises, hold the bowl for a second and then bring it to an area that needs your attention. So we can use it as a medicine bowl, literally. We've created a bowl of intense energy. We've focused our energy between our hands. So then, for me, my right side is always the place that feels the need for it. You can bathe the area. You don't have to touch the area. You can bathe an area between the 2 hands. Any part of your body, you can do that. If, on the other hand, no pun intended, there was an area within your body that you couldn't hold between your 2 hands, you couldn't reach maybe, then you can hold your bowl position and visualize that part of the body between the 2 hands. So if you can't reach your knee, but you want to bathe your knee in energy, visualize the knee between your hands. Feel it. Feel into that area of the body and feel it between your hands. Maybe it's your foot, maybe it's a kidney, doesn't matter what it is. You visualize that part of your body being encapsulated between your 2 hands and bathe the area in your own energy. So isn't that a nice wee exercise? Very good. Let's relax down, easing from your stance. As always, if you are doing a healing session for yourself, if you're doing some Qi Gong or meditation, finish by covering your center. So we bring the hands to just below the belly button and overlap completely the 2 palms. Now the Chen method is quite specific. We say that the gentleman will bring their left palm to belly first and the right hand on top, and that ladies will bring the right palm to belly first and the left hand on top. I know one other master outside of Chen style who says it really doesn't matter. Just cover your center. But can you feel the touch of your hands? Can you feel that warmth from your hands? Now we are actually physically touching the belly. You'll feel a gentle weight of your hands as you rest your hands against your belly. Feel that warmth, that gentle pressure guiding your awareness into your center. So this is a very useful and universal method within Tai Chi of finding and creating a better balance within your body. It is, I consider it a safety valve. So no matter what you have practiced, finish by returning to your center. Good. And let's release the hands gently down and close. Very good. So standing practice is one of the best things that you can do as preparation and general maintenance. We didn't do it today exactly, but there are other lovely wee Qi Gong things that you can do to give your system a bit of a boost and promote the health. So those 3 wee exercises, as I say, dead simple, very, very basic, and yet very powerful. So if you've only a couple of minutes and you don't have time, or you haven't got the discipline quite yet to do your stand every day, do something. Even do that, you know. So twist for 30 seconds, make fists and open for 30 seconds, rub your hands for 30 seconds, find your Qi ball, tune into that energy, and then you can direct it wherever you want. Of course, you could do that and then do your stand. That would be very nice as well. It would be a nice way in. Okay, let's get started with our Lao Jia Yi Lu all the way through, please. So we'll come over to the right hand side. Okay. Prepare. Lengthen the fingers down. Calming down. Listening behind. And let's begin. I got a bit lost there, so we're going to do, I'm not sure how many repeats we have done. We're going to do another repeat. Feeling I may have done too many, but anyway. Good practice, isn't it? When we get stuck in a loop. And end of part 1. Part 2. Hind pat on horse. Relax to center. Kicking section, end of part 2. So we gather to the right, roll down to the left. Left side comes across, and we sink down. Prepare, arms up and kick. Step down, cross, Step behind and turn to the back. Gathering fists, gather left leg, turn and kick left. 3 steps, 1, 2, and 3. Prepare. Draw in for planting flowers. Feeding the weight into the right, left side turns in. Feed the weight into the left, unwind, quarter turn up and over, monkey holds peach. Ready, and palm faces out. Protect the heart. We have our spinning kick, so we bounce, turn, push the hands out, gather to face the back. Well done. Step left and gather right. Pull back the toes, kick right, toy soldier, quarter turn, 3-way punch. Prepare. Punch. Part 3. I'm turning a little bit further there than I should, just not to hit the wall. Keep going. I'm taking an extra step. part 4. Flick, stamp. Taking extra steps to fit the space. If you don't need to, just keep it clean, please. I count on horse, relax to center. Now this is the end game, ready? We do our little circle and gather, pulling the right shoulder back. Here we have our special diagonal punch down. Uppercut. Kick the left foot, set it down, keep your stance, and pull the right shoulder back. 180-degree turn. Up and over, into the left, gather, Very well done. Good. Yeah, very nice. So that was about 27 minutes of non-stop movement. You can imagine why, if you were to do that 3 times a day, you would have a 6-pack in a week. That happened to me. Always wanted a 6-pack, never could manage it. I was doing 300 sit-ups a day, all different styles of sit-ups, trying to really tone and get sculpted there. And then, that was long ago, never managed it, just, you know, just normal looking. And then many years later, I decided, right, I'm really going to apply myself. And that's all I did, just 3 sets a day for a week. And by the end of the week, I had a 6-pack. I've also noticed even standing practice can give you a somewhat toned 6-pack. So, yeah, you wouldn't think it, would you? Because you're not doing, but you are continuously engaging your core as you're doing this, as you're doing Tai Chi. It's not that you're doing what the Pilates folks talk about, that you're zipping up and pulling up and doing all this. No, you're not. In fact, the opposite. You want the top of the head floating up, the chin down and back, and you want the rest of the body to hang in a plumb line downwards. However, by doing these movements, by moving from center and by gently and softly guiding the arms and the legs, the core engages. It can't help it. It's natural. And that's what Tai Chi is all about. It's about using minimum effort with good principles, and we get natural strength and outcomes from it. So I know sometimes when people have been attending Pilates and love it, and then start trying to do Tai Chi, they often, you know, they'll come up to me and they'll tell me, oh, well, you know, I have a bad back, but I find Pilates helps, and, you know, and we're told to zip up some certain muscles before we do things. One lady saying, I zip up my tummy before I take a drink, you know, that it gave her a feeling of safety and strength and that things were moving right. And that's great. But Pilates is a whole different system. We do not apply the principles of Pilates when we're doing Tai Chi. So be careful with that, because it's something that we all do, that whatever we have done in our life, we bring to the classroom and can't help but apply it. But certain practices need to be pigeonholed. When you're doing Tai Chi, just keep the top of the head light. Keep the chin down and back. Allow the body to release and relax. So you're pivoting, you're turning from your center and directing your limbs with your awareness. Let the center do the work for you. The center is the core, but it's not, it's none of that. Just relax and move from center. And of course, that's why standing practice is so useful, because it teaches you to hold that good alignment and relax through it. So relaxation is key. It allows the energy to flow through the good structure, and that brings us strength. So our muscles are being exercised, they are being worked, but they're being worked in a very relaxed way, which allows the energy to flow through, which is the healing aspect of our practice. Energy must flow. If it gets stuck, issues can arise. So often the largest amount of healing from a practice happens after you finish. So if you're doing aerobics, you're tense, and then at the end you're tired, you relax, that's when the system helps itself to heal. Whereas in Tai Chi, we're actually healing as we practice, as well as creating a healing environment within our system to continue the healing process after we've finished. So that's why it's so important that we keep breathing through our practice and breathe softly and silently as we move. So if you find yourself holding your breath, it's okay, but remind yourself to breathe again, and that will bathe all of your body in beautiful fresh oxygen and help to carry away the waste products that again promote healing. So let's finish with a little twist, same movement as earlier, but I'm doing a kind of hybrid. I'm doing a higher stance, but with more welly, rather than a big deep stance, or a high stance very gently. I'm doing a bit of a combo. Good. And let's take it down to every part of the body we can reach. So just gently turn and pat. Cup your hands so that it's not a flat slap. Good. Check in with your whole body. How does it feel? And up you come. Good. Over the shoulders. Lovely. And a little shake out. Okay, we're going to do a version of 100 Ailments Go Away by Bing Xiao. We're going to, this time, place the hands as if you're on a big medicine ball, and we're going to lift off the heels and just drop without actually hitting the ground, like you have a gel cushion under your heels. So you're bouncing on a ball. Good, breathe. Let your wobbly bits wobble. And relax down. Well done. Now, honestly, the nicest version of the Bai Bing Xiao that I've come across, it looks silly, but I think it's very, very effective, is the one where we lift the arms up and let the wrists droop. So you can do that version, and you're getting an extra little lymph drainage for your arms, and you're getting another Qi stimulation by the wrists wobbling, and all those meridians are getting lots of love. Good, so we relax down. So that's my favourite, but it's not the only one. So I like to share variations for you. So just stand, please, return to centre, lengthen up through the top of the head, the chin down and back. Listen to your body. Feel all of those lovely sensations, tingling, fatigue, whatever it is you feel, listen to it now. Breathe into it. And let's scoop the energy up and guide it back in to center. Covering center, hug the elbows in and breathe. Feel the touch of your hands flowing into your center. And feel your energy is stronger. Very good, everyone. Relax down. Let's salute. Thank you so much for coming and practicing with me today. I hope you enjoyed your class. Keep practicing. And remember, any effort is money in the bank. So even if it's 5 seconds of rubbing your hands vigorously together, it's something. It's Tai Chi practice. Thank you. Take care and see you next time.